department administrator, a band director, a general music teacher, preparing many kids for auditions the last 32 years. At Penfield schools, I want to talk specifically about what we do at the high school level to help students. First, we have, students can choose a lesson group option that is dedicated to applying for college and doing a college audition. That's one of their 3 or 4 options they may choose as their lesson groups. And I should have mentioned, I hope you all got a handout too. If you didn't, they're right outside the door here. I'll go through a couple of the points that are in the handout and leave you the handout to look at the specifics. We cover 4 different concepts with these students. The first is comprehensive musical preparation. The second, career awareness. The third, audition preparation. And the fourth, process preparation. And I'll talk a little bit about each of those 4 areas. Comprehensive musical preparation. All of us who are teachers are guilty of something, and kids are guilty of it, and parents are even more guilty of it. And that is oftentimes asking our students to play music that is a little bit above their level because we want them to show off. What we emphasize to our students and to our staff is that our college colleagues are very astute listeners, and they're not listening to someone that can play every note of the most difficult piece correctly. They're listening for evidence of comprehensive musicianship, like the ability to keep an internal pulse, to subdivide, to have a good foundation in oral skills, to have some knowledge of music theory and some knowledge of music history. So there's 2 things that we emphasize that we can do to help our kids in that aspect. One is to help them to choose within whatever the college audition parameters are, to choose literature that is at the skill level that they are at, not to play music that is too difficult for them, and to play music that allows them to show evidence of comprehensive musicianship. And the second thing that we can do in our school systems, we know that teaching comprehensive musicianship is not a several week or a several month concept. It's something that we have to build over the entire experience that our kids have in our schools. So right from our earliest grades to the high school, we emphasize that these are the important skills, not playing the flashy solo. So 2 things in that area. Choose music wisely, and secondly, design your program to reflect comprehensive musicianship. The second area, career awareness. If we educate our students about the realities and the opportunities and the challenges of the music business, both as performers and as educators, then those students come to their auditions and their interviews prepared to have intelligent discussions and to interact with the people that are interviewing them and auditioning them. So it gives them a little leg up to be able to show evidence that they've been thinking critically about this career path that they've chosen. And it also gives them an advantage. They have their head on straight and know what's important when they walk into the audition room. The third concept is audition preparation. And we lead our kids in 3 areas when they prepare for auditions. The first is to research. We help our kids to choose programs that cover the range of safe school to maybe appropriate to maybe reach schools. We help them with that choice. And we ask them to chart and to bring in and prove to us that they've done it, all the requirements for each school. Specific requirements, dates, the literature that they have to choose, the technique that they're responsible for. So all of those areas. The second is the musical preparation, and most of our kids that are auditioning for colleges all study with private teachers. So the musical preparation for that, it's a little bit different than we have with most of our kids, as you know. So we focus on helping students to be prepared for the audition experience, to emphasize the importance of this complete musicianship, and to be 110% prepared. We're not necessarily working with them on this specific literature. And then the third concept for them for their pre-audition preparation is performance preparation. And what I mean by that is even though our kids have participated in NYSSMA-style events, it's different walking into the college professor's studio and having to play. It's a very intense environment, as most of us have gone through that as well. So we do a couple of things. We run a series of mock auditions for students. Sometimes we do them, sometimes we invite people from local colleges to do them. And we prepare them for what may be very different experiences depending on where they go. A friendly, talkative professor and someone who says nothing. And we make sure that we actually say this is going to be a mean audition. And we take them through that so that they know what to expect. And then the last is we call audition tips and logistics. And these are the things that I think we sometimes forget about, that kids don't know and parents don't know. For example, before the audition, when to arrive. Don't arrive 30 minutes before your audition. Arrive at least half a day before your audition. What to wear. Probably a tuxedo is a little over the top. But we see a lot of tuxedos walking into auditions. So little practical tips like that. Also, what to do when you arrive at the audition room. Or what not to do. Don't bring your parents with you to the audition room. Don't hang out the door and listen to your competition. But do, when you arrive at the audition room, introduce yourself and help your kids understand how to shake someone's hand and how to look them in the eye when they greet them and how to do that when they leave as well. And then the other aspect about planning the audition is we tell kids about the things that they're not expecting that could happen. For example, you're going to make a mistake. So let's practice when you're auditioning for us. Let's practice how you handle when you make a mistake. Because our college colleagues, when they listen, expect that you're going to make a mistake. And they're more concerned with how you react to them making a mistake than they are necessarily that you don't or you do make a mistake. Also, what to do when no one talks to you or when they talk to you a lot. That neither of those things means anything. It doesn't mean they like you or they don't like you. So they have to become neutral there. And then also many schools will ask, right in the audition room, to demonstrate oral skills and demonstrate subdivision. So we throw those things out to kids so that they're not surprised. And lastly, when they leave the audition, to say thank you and to again shake the hand and learn how to do a nice exit. And the one thing that I forgot to mention in the preparation that I do want to mention, when they're researching their schools, we strongly recommend that the kids take a lesson with the professor the year before, right now, between now and the end of summer, or the end of the school year, to call the professor, to write the professor, ask if the professor would be amenable to having a lesson, ask what they would charge. And there's a couple reasons for that. One reason is so that the student can get a little feel about the personality of the professor, since it's the most important person they're going to work with. And lastly, so that if the professor has a lesson with you in March and tells you 3 or 4 things you can work on, and you work on them, and then you come and play your audition, and the professor says, well, Johnny really paid attention to what I said. Okay, I'll be quiet.